What's going on, everyone? Kelly Cavallaro here. I'm one half of 7 Era Media, and welcome to today's edition of the Honky Tonk Highway, episode number 56. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope big shout out to Ralph Fowler on another successful virtual event over the weekend on channels V5 and V6. If you haven't got the chance to subscribe to that yet, go check that out. There is a V7 coming real soon, guys, so make sure to check out that. Once again, hope everyone is enjoying all the shows. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, follow, share, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. That way you never miss when we're going to go live or post anything. Just a couple quick announcements. Don't forget, guys, we're just under a week away. Sorry, over. From the 7 and 7 workshop this weekend, Saturday, July 25th. It is absolutely free. Just click on the 7 and 7 events group. Make sure you join. That's where we'll be broadcasting. We got 7 workshops in 7 hours. All the dances are going to be dances that have placed in the USLDCC to qualify these people for the finals, which at the finals we all have a shot at going to World Dance Masters and teach. A little surprise for you guys today. I'm releasing the schedule just for you guys so far. It won't be officially posted up until tomorrow, but I'm going to let everyone know what the schedule is going to be right now. Starting off, the first workshop starts at 10 a.m. It's going to be myself. I am going to teach Baptize Me. That's a dance that took second place at the Big Bang. I wrote it originally back for World Dance Masters. So that will be at 10 a.m. At 11 o'clock, Mr. Chris Jocks is going to teach you Let Your Hair Down. Y'all might know Chris from his dance Shoot My Shot, that one in Chicago. Amazing guy, amazing friend of mine from up north, up in the Boston area. So he's going to be teaching at 11. At 12 o'clock, Wendy Smith is going to be teaching Dance Can't Stop Me. She has, I believe, 5, if I'm not mistaken, posted correctly, 5 spots in the finals. So make sure to check out the workshop at noon. You're not going to miss our workshop from the Wild Rose herself. At 1 o'clock, Miss Taylor Hickey is going to be teaching Keep Them Talking. It's a dance that, again, she placed with for the finals in December. At 2 o'clock, little changes plans. Originally, Jason Turner was going to be joining us. He had a family situation come up. Instead, Nicole Calger is going to take his place, and she's going to teach the dance Sounds Good to Me that her and Wendy won with at Hotlanta this past year in the phrase division, so make sure to check that out. At 3 o'clock, we have another Rose coming up. Our resident Georgia girl, Miss Tracy Jackson, is going to be teaching bar top dancing. Great little fun dance you're going to enjoy. And then to finish off the day, we're going to have a treat for you. You're going to not have not one, but two of us. Me and Chris will be joining split screen, just like I did for Streamline. We're going to be teaching our dance that won at Florida Classic called Keep It Down. Fun little dance. He's in Boston area. I'm down here in Florida, obviously. So we're going to be on screen together for that. So make sure to check that out. Again, join the group 7 and 7 events. You're not going to miss that. Tomorrow there will not be a show. I have decided to not do any shows anymore on Tuesdays for a while to support Line Dancer Radio. But I have a show at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 2 o'clock over the UK, just to join the Honky Tonk Highway. Tomorrow the entire show is going to be dances that were taught at the Big Bang this past year. Support my brother Will Craig. After the announcement this week that he will be canceling the event. So we're going to look back on all the dances that were, a bunch of the dances that were done at the last Big Bang, which was from this past January. Also, Wednesday we'll have Tim Johnson back on to tell us about his dance that him and Debbie finished and demo it. And then Thursday, I'm going to continue the Top 10 Thursday theme, and I'm doing it with Mr. Shane Golfing McKeever, and he has agreed to join us on the show, so check that out on Thursday. That is going to be awesome, so make sure to tune to that. Friday, we're going to do an entire show dedicated to the event coming up on Saturday, as well as the US LDCC, so make sure to check that out. Hey Jesse, glad to see you join us. I'm going to pop this up here, that way you can see some of the comments that we're going to share. So today, guys, it's all me. All right, today's show is 100% question and answers on all things tech. If you have any questions about live streaming, why your music's getting blocked, certain tech to use, ask away. I have been open anytime anybody's called me through this whole pandemic about different questions about tech. I even did at the beginning when I started the Honky Tonk Highway, I did an entire show on why your music didn't block. So I will definitely put that down in the comments. It's up on YouTube and on Facebook. So the first question looks like Sheila just asked me. I'm going to pop this up here. Let me make it smaller for people can see it, and I'm going to move it over. She asked, Facebook video interrupted and logs me out, usually during live class. How do I stop that? Are you the only one that's getting interrupted, or is it broadcasting interrupting for everyone, Sheila? That's going to be the first question. And if it's for everyone, it's probably on the broadcasting end. They're probably stopping the stream completely. If it's just on your end, it's probably an internet issue. More likely is what's happening. Live streaming takes up a lot, and watching live videos takes up a lot of bandwidth. So if you're on a cell phone connection, usually that could hinder it depending on how good your Wi-Fi service is. And if it's on their end, it's more likely they're getting shut down due to their broadcasting signal or the music. A few people. Yeah, more than likely that what's causing that is probably everyone's personal internet bandwidth connection. So if you're in an area that a lot of people are using, if you're using a cell phone connection in an area that's not a good reception area, or it could just be a popular day where a lot of people, I know I went through this with Ira Weisberg when he was starting to do his classes, and he was going to go and up his service. His area, there were certain times of the week where the bandwidth jumped, and that's because everybody in his neighborhood was online at the same time. So I always told him, I go, look for those areas where your signal, like before I do every broadcast, and I know how good my internet is here at the new place, I run a speed test. You can use speedtest.net and run a simple speed test. It'll tell you what your download speed and your upload speed is. To do a good stream, if you're the one broadcasting, you're going to want probably closer to the 8 to 10 megabytes per second range. If you're streaming stuff, I wouldn't go any lower than 20 to get a good service. So that's just me personally. You could probably, depending on, and it also a lot depends on what people are streaming in. If someone's streaming very high def and you're not trying to receive high def, it's going to affect it. So that on that aspect for Facebook, and again, if it's a few people, I had it where I broadcasted from over at World Dance Masters, and everything worked except for the people in France for one of my choreography live feeds, and it's just France blocked it. So it could be a number of different things on that one. So hopefully that will help a little bit. Just check speed tests. Jesse just asked, I'm going to pop this up here. If you see something like broadcast interrupted on your screen, meaning Facebook kicked that live out, yes. Usually when you see broadcast interrupted, that means Facebook is kicking it out or is trying to kick it out. I've seen it where it's put up broadcast interrupted for a few seconds, and then it cooked back in. They had a broadcast interrupted. Usually a broadcast interrupted, when it comes up like that, it's usually that Facebook has definitely interrupted the broadcast and they have to start over. At least every situation I've had on that aspect, and that's usually is when it comes up broadcast interrupted, it's usually a connection issue. It's not because of music. They usually don't tell you broadcast interrupted to music, they just take you straight down sometimes. And yeah, Sheila, it is probably the high def on there. And if they're like, I'm streaming right now in a high def, but I also have it set my settings so to adapt to whoever's watching. So you can have your settings. You can also adjust your settings on what you stream in and what you watch videos in on Facebook and YouTube. If you see, Jesse just posted, if you see screen pixelated with colors, you have bad Wi-Fi. Usually, yes. Usually you definitely have a bad Wi-Fi on that one, and that definitely has to play into that one. Again, the more you're trying to do, also the better the Wi-Fi. Like if you see, I have logos, I have screens, I switch screens. If I was trying to do this on a basic internet connection, it wouldn't work. It would fail every time. Luckily, I have a very good internet connection. We had one at our old place, and now that we live up near Orlando, our internet is even better. So I'm able to broadcast pretty well, thankfully. So that has a lot to do with it. Again, also too, you're seeing an update in more people are broadcasting, more people are online. So Facebook, Zoom, Instagram, YouTube, and all these things are trying to accommodate that. How many people watch live feeds and watch streaming back in February was nowhere near the same as it is now. So, Jesse, I actually have, so our service, luckily in our new townhome, came with AT&T fiber optic. So it was fiber optic 1 gig speed. At the normal, we didn't have to pay any extra. That's just what every townhome here in our complex has. I am currently hardwired in to my computer that I'm broadcasting with. The hardwire, I did the speed test late last night. It was 912 megabytes per second download and 987 megabytes per second upload. So 912 download, 987 upload. I had just about a gig each way. The Wi-Fi is running anywhere between 400 and 500 download and about 400 upload. So my Wi-Fi still is outrageous. So let's see. Julie Ellis, pop that up. Not a teach question, but I see that people post videos with music and they post, I do not own the rights to this music. Does this help keep the music for me muted? No. Will it confuse the algorithms? Sure. What ping? Jen, actually right now my ping I think was at 21, 22. It's very low. It's very good ping right now. My ping is crazy. So I have really fast internet. It doesn't. You can put it up there. They're still gonna. I've known plenty of videos that it has still blocked that put that on there. So it doesn't help. People do it to think that it's helping. It really doesn't. You can put in there, I do not own the rights to this music. This is for educational purpose. Some people will get lucky. Some people get luck. Um, it's so hit or miss whether or not that's going to work. Facebook's algorithms changes daily, and Facebook's algorithms change depending on the country it's broadcasted from. So what might work here won't work over in England or Canada. Do I know why? What, Jesse? And Britt just says we have AT&T fiber optic, but still our speed sucks sometimes, especially Wi-Fi. That's true. I have friends that live on the other side of town that have it, and their speed's nowhere near mine. I am very thankful that our area has very good fiber optic. I have gotten very lucky on that. First thing we did when we were looking for places up here was the first thing I did was look into the internet. So, anytime, Jules. You know that. Yeah. Back to Julie's question on the music, on that one. You can try it, but I put it up. I've tested it. I've had videos that got busted still. Yeah, a lot depends on the song, the area. I had a video of Rachel from World Dance Masters last year. It worked in every country but the U.S. It's still up to this day. Every country can play the video but the United States. And again, like a wife on the live feed thing over when I was live feeding the choreography competition, every country worked a live feed. Everybody was able to watch it except for France. France had blocked the music there. It's so hit or miss, and it changes daily. And unfortunately, I don't see it ever getting fixed anytime soon. Facebook, I just wish they'd get closer to being on the same page. Facebook and YouTube really don't like each other. I see Facebook and Instagram probably getting a little bit more closer to realistic now that since they are owned by the same company. I just don't see Facebook and YouTube getting on the same page because they don't like each other at all. They're nowhere near the same. That's why all my live feeding for events is on YouTube. They don't bug you until you go to post it, and then they just monetize it. They just put commercials on it. I've yet to have a song blocked on YouTube now. Every video I have has worked perfectly fine uploading on YouTube. They just run their ads on it. I don't have anything blocked anymore. But I also have the monetization turned on where they can monetize my videos. So if Taylor Swift wants to make money off my video, if I put a song with Taylor Swift in it, they run a Taylor Swift ad on Believe It. Britt just put up, and this is a long one. Just a helpful note: I upload my classes to YouTube after I teach on Facebook Live. Very good thing. On YouTube, when I divide up the classes into separate teachers, no muting issues at all. When I try to upload the full hour with 6 songs, it'll mute the entire class. That will probably stop once you're able to turn monetization on your YouTube channel, Britt, because then they can run ads on it. And then also make sure you do not have it where it's made for kids. As of January 1st this past year, the federal thing, the federal regulations and YouTube had to change their settings. You see when you go to upload a video, it asks you, is this video made for kids? Select no. And the reason being is if you put, when you put it's made for kids, there's 2 things that are disabled on it now. You cannot run ads on it, so you'll never get to do that whole running the ads thing for monetization for your stuff will not get blocked. But you also disable the chat. If you're wondering why if you upload any videos and you have the chat disabled and you don't know how to fix that, it's because your videos put on it's made for kids. Definitely check your channel on that one. That's a huge one. Huge one. I've noticed on YouTube especially now that they've changed all their federal regulations, and that was effective as of January 1st this past year. Facebook, Sheila, when you play back a live teach, there is a good chance there's going to be a lot of music blocked and muted. And so what happens when, for someone who goes live and do a video, we get a video and it'll post that we go live and it'll set end live feed. We save the video onto our phone and it'll say post. We post it. After it actually processes through in post, anywhere between 10 and an hour later, we're going to get a notification from Facebook whether or not the video has been blocked, muted, whatever. So we can get a thing sent to us in our little notes from Facebook that says notifications that we can still post the video partially muted. So what people do are they're still posting the video partially muted. That way they can still get the teach part up there. But when it comes to the music part of the dance, there's a good chance that part's going to be muted. So, yes, Britt just said, Sheila, yes, that's why I teach live on Facebook, then I'll transfer everything onto YouTube after. Yes, that's actually a very good thing. I've advised lots of people to do that, Britt, because YouTube will just put the ads up and let you play it with music, and they won't block it. That's pretty much what it is. I'm getting videos released to me. I think I just got a video that was allowed back that Sony lifted the block on from 3 years ago, and now is allowing to be played on Facebook. It's weird. They change everything so much daily that you never know what's going to happen next on that one. The easiest way is if you have it on your own website, but again, if you get caught not having a music license on your own website, you're going to be in for a lot of money if anybody from BMI, ASCAG, or CSAC decide to come in and monitor you and check you out. So that's for sure. Again, though, the price for a music licensing to start off, it's based on hours. So the first 6 months will probably cost you anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000 for a broadcasting license. And I said this, and I'll definitely put this up for the people who didn't miss it a couple months ago when I did the talk on videos getting blocked. If you have your normal license for an event, that does not count. Just because an event pays for music at an event does not give the event right to broadcast it. A broadcasting license is something totally different. The minute you put it on video and release it to the world, totally different licensing avenue. So the broadcasting music license to have it played on video, in a video, is anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000 for the first 6 months. And that's to cover all of the avenues, because even if you just buy it on BMI, doesn't mean you're covered with the songs on CSAC. And same thing with ASCAP. They're all different. Everyone covers different songs. Is there some songs that probably overlap? Absolutely. Is there some songs that don't? Yes. So when you do that, you're paying for this first 6 months. So you pay, say you start off January 1st, you pay for January 1st through the end of June. Come July 1st, you're going to get a bill, and it's based off your viewing hours of how much was played from January 1st through June 30th. So if you had a kick butt 6 months where you were at events nonstop, broadcasting like crazy, your bill's going to climb, and it's going to be way more than the $6,000. It could just stay at the $6,000, the minimum. The minimum, I believe, is anywhere between the last time I talked to him a couple months ago, was anywhere between $1,250 and $1,500 per agency to have a broadcasting license. From what I've been told by some people, they've been a little bit more laxed with this pandemic time, but I guarantee you that the minute this ends, they're not going to be, because look at how much it's been done. Okay, Zoom wasn't prepared for what they got into, hence why there's that huge security breach at the beginning of the pandemic, and everyone kind of went away from Zoom for a while because everyone had trouble with Zoom getting their information stolen, because they weren't prepared to have that many people on their website. Zoom was made for meetings. Zoom was made for a group of people getting together that couldn't all be together in an office. Zoom wasn't meant for music. Zoom wasn't meant for people teaching Zumba or dance classes. That's not what Zoom was made for. So they had to adapt. That's why if you were on Zoom at the beginning of the pandemic, the audio quality was horrible. The audio quality is not much better unless you have a mixer, like something over there attached into. Sheila, that's a hard one because they're doing their job. Unfortunately, it is illegal. Unfortunately, it is illegal that they're doing their job on monitoring who has the right to do something and who doesn't. Trust me, from someone who broadcasts on a daily basis, on a weekend basis at events, I agree with you. But unfortunately, I don't see it ending anytime soon. Because they're doing it to cover their own rears on that aspect. They're not. I don't think it's going to change at all, due to the fact that they're covering their own butts. Facebook has a license. Facebook has a license to have anything played on it they want. But again, Facebook owns the website. You don't own Facebook. Facebook owns it. So they can control what gets put up. You can put up a post, like perfect example, a couple weeks ago, I did my top 10 shows, my best Saturday night shows. I had no music in it at all. I got put down, and Jesse can remember this because I know Jesse was laughing at me and we were messaging, that the Britain's Got Talent logo got me taken down. They took me down for having the Britain's Got Talent logo on a video. No music, no audio, no nothing. But because it had the Britain's Got Talent, the minute I had Country Vibe up there, it yanked it down. I restarted. None of my other videos had the Britain's Got Talent logo, and they didn't say nothing. But that video that Britain's Got Talent had up, that I used, busted me. No music, no nothing. But Facebook has that right to do that. They can yank it down like that. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube can technically take it down. Jesse, that I don't think you do. I understand you hate the process of it, and this is why I tell a lot of people: if everyone truly didn't like it, they wouldn't use it. Is there other options? Yes. Is there options that are easier? No. Sure. Look at I'll use my own views for videos as example, and I know many people that can contest to this that used to watch my videos. I was at Motor City, one of the Motor City Dance Classic a couple years ago, and it was one of the last events that I actually broadcasted on Facebook. We had overnight 260,000 people watch one of the live streams. We had 3,000 people almost on it at one time. Now, is that possible on every other platform? Sure. Feasibly? No. You know how much the max number of people I've ever had on a YouTube one is? Just over 100. Why? Because it's an extra step. It's an extra thing that people don't want to have to do. Everyone likes it easy, okay? With Facebook, if you follow a page, you're going to get notified. You can turn on a setting that's following they put live videos up. Okay, that's why if you see all these people, they say like and follow. Okay, the likes help one set of algorithms. The follows help a different set. That's why we always push like and follow, like and follow. Same thing on YouTube. We always push subscribe and hit the bell. That means you get the notifications. It's all about easy. Most people don't want that extra step of having to click on a link, go to YouTube, let their YouTube open up and watch a YouTube video. They like the realness of Facebook. Okay? There's plenty of ways around it not getting taken down in the middle of classes. Okay? But none of those are the easy ways that get notified every time you go online. And that's the big kicker. Everyone loves the Facebook aspect because it's the easiest thing. How many people, perfect example, the minute I go live, how many people get the notification that 7 Media is live? Now, how many people got the notification that I went live on YouTube at the same time? That's my point. I went live on the same avenue, both. And unless you follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us and have that notification, you had no idea we went live on YouTube. None at all. And that's the thing. There's plenty of ways around it, but it's the easy factor. There's parts of Facebook I hate, but if it wasn't for Facebook, half of what we do wouldn't be relevant. Why? Because nobody would know we did it. That's the huge kicker. Everyone loves what Facebook does until it blocks it. But there's ways around it. You just got to adapt. Does it suck? Absolutely. Trust me. If people saw my setup, and I know some people have because we've been on video chats. For what I do to make this appear on screen is a monstrosity. Why? Because I want it to look good for everybody. Yes, Sheila, Fred and Shane's Facebook was good. They kept putting up a new live after each session. Right, but they had to stop after each session. they still had to stop after every class. So they stopped after they did a lesson, they stopped. Shane did a lesson, Fred did a lesson, he stopped. They did the talk, they stopped. And then how many times did the social dancing get stopped? I think three or four, and that was because of music. It's just like the streamlined events, the digital dance weekends. It's Rob's thing. You teach for an hour, the person goes live. It gives you that nice notification that that person's live. So yes, you follow. Let's use Streamline as an example here for the 24-hour. You follow Streamline's 24-hour. So that's, you get a notification when that person who's teaching goes live. Every time. Boom. Kelly just asked a question. One request we get often, does messing with your internet actually do anything to have a good feed? Like refreshing it? If you have a lot of devices running in your house, yes. If you have a lot of devices in your house, yes. So the more devices you have on the same Wi-Fi, you're going to get kicked out. Also, if you have something on the same router, it's going to get kicked out. The more devices you have running, if you're trying to run your Netflix at the same time you're running your phone, at the same time you're running your iPad, and your mom is in the other room or someone running a computer, yes, you're going to get slower internet. That's plain and simple, because most devices can't handle that many. When you sign up for internet, it should give you a breakdown of how many megabytes per second you'll get per how many devices. So they say, oh yeah, we'll get 250 megabytes per second up to 6 devices. So yeah, can someone watch Facebook Live if they do not have an account on Facebook? No, they cannot, Elsa. That's a great question. They cannot. You cannot go in to watch Facebook if you do not have an account. Now, I do know that there's some TVs that have Facebook Watch built in, but they're going to ask you for a Facebook account. There's some big accounts that actually put their stuff up there for free, but it's like SportsCenter, ESPN, NBC, stuff like that. But even then, you're logged into a Google account on your TV, so it's tracking you somehow. Jesse, unless you have Kelly's fiber, you don't need to. This is true. But again, we do take relevant to that. Even I don't want my feeds to fail. Even with my big thing, I have a lot going on. So Kelly will try to only be on one device in the other room, maybe 2. I'm hardwired into this, and I have one device currently on the Wi-Fi. I actually turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone. That way, it both wasn't sitting here running the same Wi-Fi to slow down pulling off the router. So that way, because I'm actually monitoring the Facebook feed via my iPad sitting right behind me. So that way, this stays constant. And usually, Kelly, it will be in another room and monitoring my feed as well. She'll be watching Facebook, and sometimes she'll jump over on the YouTube and watch the YouTube feed to make sure that doesn't go down. So yeah, but no one. People, if you need to have a Facebook account to watch Facebook. To be quite honest, I don't understand. Kelly, you play too safe. It's called I'm a perfectionist, Jesse. I like to make sure nothing goes wrong. I don't like to have issues come up midstream. Like earlier today, I was on with the boys, the 3 of them, plus Heather Barton. I don't like to have issues to go down at all. I'll try turning my wife. Yeah, I would. That's probably a safer bet, Sheila, just to see. Yeah, Britt. That's unfortunately, like Britt says. So when I teach on the Wi-Fi off of my kids' iPads, Mom of the Year. Yeah, unfortunately, that does slow it down because you're all taken off the same router. It will slow it down, and then also the location you have close to the router will slow you down. And back to the whole, can someone watch Facebook Live if they don't have an account on Facebook? I don't really understand the purpose of people who say, I don't believe in Facebook, but yet they have 4 emails, an Instagram, and a TikTok. That does baffle me a lot when people say, oh, I don't use Facebook, but I have a TikTok account, or I don't use Facebook, but I have a YouTube account. There's no different, guys. If I understand some people are worried about their information, okay, create a Facebook. If all you're literally wanting to do is watch dance videos, you don't have to make friends with anybody. You can literally go on and just follow who you want to follow, or look and become friends with who you want to follow, and that's it. You don't have to accept friend requests. You don't have to do anything. You can literally just go and do what you want to do. I know Maggie Gallagher does that. Maggie Gallagher has a Facebook account just for her to be able to go live. Plain and simple. She doesn't use it. It literally, she'll come on, she'll watch a couple things, and she goes live. And yeah, like Kelly just says, TikTok tracking is actually way worse than Facebook. It's actually the worst out there for the amount of information it takes. So yeah, I don't understand the people who say I don't want to have a Facebook account. I don't want to have a Facebook account. I don't want to have a Facebook account. If you want something bad enough and watch it, Betty Drummond, tell me quickly about TikTok. Betty, TikTok is another app. It posts mainly, it's all video stuff. But from the reports that have come out, they're able to yank the most information from a person's phone and account out of any app out there. Way worse than the information Facebook gets. Way information way worse than Instagram and all that. TikTok can rip things because they don't have to play by the same rules. The app was built differently and just everything like that. So I don't use it. I don't know a lot about it. I watch a lot of people's videos that they post on Facebook from it. Paul James, Will Craig, a bunch of them. Yeah, actually, it's harder. Britt just put this up here, and I'll actually share it. Britt just said, especially today's world, just make one with a nickname and an obscure picture, right? Actually, you can't do that no more. So I have a friend who's a doctor who used to use a different name, and they actually made her switch it. You have to be able to prove that it is a name used. You just can't make something up. You can't just, you can come up with just a fake name, absolutely, and it might be grandfathered in from the old one, and then you have, like mine. I had mine up until a couple weeks ago. Mine was Kelly Travis, which was my middle name, and the reason being was a couple of years ago, I got reported for violating someone's personal rights due to my live streams, and Facebook took away my personal account. That was my full name, Kelly Travis Cavallaro. So they took away everything. Someone reported me. All Facebook would tell me is someone reported me for having them in a video. So, long story short, I made a new Facebook account. I used my middle name. They checked it. It was my middle name. It was fine. It wasn't until about a couple weeks ago I was able to go through and change it to my name, to where I had my last name back on it. So I know for a friend of mine had a different name, and they made her change it to something that resembled her name or a name. The obscure picture, yeah, you don't have to have a picture. I have my Honky Tonk logo, Honky Tonk Highway logo as my picture currently. So yeah, that's definitely it. So yeah, yes, Betty, you do not need TikTok in your life. Elsa just asked, she did 2 of them. What other options do we have to have line dance? I meant to say, what other options do we have to teach line dance besides Facebook Live? There's tons of them. You have YouTube, you have Instagram. There's tons of ways. You can use Zoom. You can use Zoom, but that's, again, you're paying if you want more than 40 minutes. If you want to have more than 40-minute lesson, you have to have a paid account. You can do Facebook Messenger, but you can't have more than 8 people on a video. YouTube and Facebook are probably the easiest ones. Again, I know a couple people overseas are using ELD, which is everything line dance. They're using it on a website. Again, though, I don't know how much they're covered with music licensing. I know they're not getting busted because it's on a website, but again, I know their music laws are a little bit different over there for it being UK-based people. I don't know what it is for people based in the US. I know if you get caught playing music on a website that you don't pay for, it is pricey. And like Sheila said, Zoom music is not good. Music is not good on Zoom unless you have really good mixers and know what you're doing, and even then you're risking a chance for it not to be absolutely great. A lot of people are line dance instructors, they're not DJs. So the chances of a line dance instructor having a mixer laying around that they know how to use everything on to make everything sound good and everything that Rhoda lucks out because Eddie had it all, and Eddie DJs, so Eddie knows how to mix music very well. I do know when we did the duo teaches on Streamline, due to the fact that he had a mixer in house, that was the way one of the duo teachers probably that had the best was her, and Amy's was sound, due to the fact that Eddie's able to plug a mixer in. Same thing with me. I'm able to plug multiple. I can plug multiple microphones in, and go off of that. But the normal instructor is just going to turn on their phone. And even so, I use a phone. Don't get me wrong. I have an entire other phone, like my iPhone 11 Pro. I have an 8 Plus that I use to live stream forever. And depending on what I'm doing, I still use it. The difference is, though, I do have an external microphone that I plug into it and I attach to the top. I literally have a phone holder that has a microphone holder on top, and I attach it on, I put the phone in, and this plugs into the phone. So I'm getting way better audio going into a cell phone. And depending on what I'm doing, that works great. If I'm just needing something to go live for open dancing and I can't get computers set up everywhere, hook up the phone, run a cable, I'm good. I could easily do everything I need to with that. I'll still use the phone. A lot of events where JP and I are both at, we'll broadcast the screen. A lot of people say at home they want to see what the music, what songs are playing, and they really can't understand what JP is saying. So what I'll do is I'll take one camera, put it on the dancing, and I'll take my phone, and I'll put it on JP's screen and put it a picture-in-picture in the bottom. That way people at home can see the order of the dances and match up what they're doing. So I still use the cell phone to this day. Elsa asks, which is better for Facebook Live, laptop, iPhone, or iPad? That depends on which version of what you're using. If it's a newer iPad than iPhone, iPad. If it's a brand new phone, go with the phone. If the laptop is newer, it all depends on, you have to look at the type of camera that each one has. So if I had push come to shove, my iPhone 11 Pro, the camera on here is magnificent. I shoot with this all the time. I have an external lens that I can put on this case because that I bought. I can shoot tons of footage with this, and I would easily feel comfortable doing it. I keep my cameras pretty up to date. So again, it all depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to use, how old the phone is. Some people rather use their tablet. I do recommend, if you're going to live stream, having two devices. I find it so much easier, especially if you're live streaming by yourself and you can't have someone behind the camera, to definitely have two devices. That way you can see what's going on in the chat. That's for sure. Because that way you don't have to keep running behind the camera. You can sit there. Because I definitely wouldn't do it in selfie mode. I would definitely do it with rear-facing camera. The rear-facing camera is way better than the front camera. So I would go with that. That's for sure. If you're going to go with a laptop, I wouldn't go with anything too old. The cameras on there weren't that good for a while. The newer laptops have them. I know my MacBook has a better one, and I know some of the more like the Asus and stuff like that have better cameras now. I wouldn't go too old though, because you're not going to be able to focus, and the quality is not going to be there. That's for sure. So Chessie has a question. Why Android have better quality video than the iPhone? I don't necessarily agree with that statement, Jesse. All depends on the Android phone. Some Android phones were built with better megapixel cameras. That's the only reason. And it all depends on who's using it. I don't necessarily... If you're going straight off statistics, yes, some Android phones have better cameras built into them. That has nothing to do with the quality. That has to do with the quality of the video. If you put a 50 megapixel camera in compared to a 20 megapixel camera, the 50 megapixel camera is going to win every time in clarity. But if that person running the 50 megapixel camera doesn't know how to use it, it ain't going to do them no good at all. I'll agree. There are a lot of Android phones out there that have better cameras built in. Yes, but Sheila says Fred's was really good. Right. That also has to do with the internet. Okay, that was not a video. That was not a video quality. That was a stream quality. So all the Androids store live at 480p, but iPhone all 360p. I would double check that, because I can store mine, I think, in camera settings. Boom, 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 boom. I store mine at 4K. My video shoots at 4K at 30 frames per second right now. I'd have to double check what my Facebook settings are, but it all depends on the camera. But again, the broadcasting with Fred's being so clear had to do with the internet strength as well. If Fred had a bad internet day, it all has to do with that at the same time. So there's a lot of things to do when it comes to live video, just not the camera. Internet strength is a big part of that. Huge part of that. What I mean is on Facebook stored video. I'd have to look. I haven't checked my Facebook stored video settings in a long time. And Willie, that is an incorrect statement. All Android is better than iPhone, period. Just saying. No, not even close, bro. If that was the case, I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I've ever been able to accomplish, because I've been all Apple for phones and technology for a very long time. So I live fed for the first 3 years. I was live feeding events off nothing but an iPhone. So, and I was able to live feed in 720 and then 1080 when they allowed it and all that. So a lot has to do with the internet connection, not actually the phone. It all depends, because right now I'm not shooting on a phone at all. If you truly want to get better, don't use a phone. That's the actual 100% truth answer. If you want to be serious about it, don't use a phone. Use a camera. Okay? I have a GoPro that I use for streaming. I have a Canon M50 that I use for streaming. I have a 60. I have a 70. I use, if you want truly better quality and control of it, don't do it with an iPhone, because with any type of phone, because you're limited unless you have it connected to something through apps and stuff. Actually, that's probably not true, really. I probably would I probably still have a charger for your phone. I carry a lot of chargers. So if that's a straight up answer. If you want to get better quality, don't use a phone. Am I saying anything bad against a phone? No. Lots of people use phones. I use a phone still for a lot of things, but a lot of it's not camera quality. You could have the best camera in the world. If you have crappy internet and you go live, guess what? It's not going to work. It's not going to matter because you're not going to connect. Plain and simple. That's the honest truth. If my 4K camera right now is sitting in front of me and I'll use Willie Brown's Wi-Fi from the beginning of the pandemic, my streams would not be as clear, and yet I have a 4K phone, a 4K camera shooting. But if my internet can't put the stream out there and get it out there clearly and transfer it clearly, it won't matter. Because it don't matter how good your quality is. If you can't stream it good, it doesn't matter at all. Plain and simple. It's like the old satellite dish issues. Okay? Everybody growing up with satellite dish hated when it rained and thunderstormed. Why? Your signal sucked. Why? Because your antenna that's controlling your TV couldn't get through to the satellites. Same concept with internet. If your amazing technology can't get through, it's not going to matter at all. No matter at all. An old phone shooting in 720p, 720, not even 1080p or 4K, shooting in 720p, which most people don't realize that's the highest YouTube handles. You can download stuff in 1080, but the highest YouTube is going to stream in 720. That's just how it is. You can shoot it in higher, it's not going to matter. If a phone using the oldest technology is on an amazing internet and can connect, it's going to put out a better video than a 4K $10,000 camera on crappy internet. Every time, hands down. It's just how it is. Willie says, "Why does it always come back to me?" No, what software do you use for broadcasting? It's always so professional. I use 4 of them. It all depends on what I'm doing. I use one that's for Mac only. It's called Ecamm. It's a Mac only product. I pay for it a lot. So, and I hook everything up to the computer. It's not an app. You can't put it on your phone. I literally have cameras and microphones hooked up to a computer. And then I use a different software to stream it out amongst like Facebook and YouTube. I can go to Twitch. I can go to all those sort of things. So that's been no secret. A lot of people have seen that I've used Ecamm for a while. It pops up on my videos that I'm broadcasting with Ecamm Live. It's a great software. It is Mac though. So, but again, you can't. You're gonna have to connect multiple things to it and run different items through it. But you're not going to be able to do it with just a phone. Is there anything you would suggest for us non-Apple lovers? OBS is what I used to use. It's open broadcasting software. A lot of people use OBS, but again, you're gonna need you're gonna need to hook cameras up to a computer and run everything. The minute you start using apps like this, your internet speed is going to drag. They say for a basic live stream, going straight just from your phone, if you literally went on Facebook on your phone and hit go live, they recommend anywhere between 8 and 12 megabytes per second just for this to get it clear. The minute you put a piece of text up, the minute you put anything going on with it, multiple screens, you just got to keep logging up the thing. It's gonna weigh it down. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, Sheila, I would definitely when you're done watching something, clear everything off and then check your speed. Do a speed test. Like I said, speedtest.net. And check to see what your download and your upload is. And then also on that website will tell you if there's outages in your area that is causing excessive usage. A little screen will pop up and tell you whether or not on the bottom different things that could be causing it to go slow. and different things that in your area. So that's a huge thing. There could be a where there's something in your area that no one knows about that's causing a big lag. But Willie, straight up for what you do, because I know you use everything line dance. Again, you're gonna have to. You need a camera and you need a microphone. You'd want to go everything external. That's when it does get costly. Luckily, I had everything in it. Sorry, as much as you tried, you won't convert me. I always try to tell people, come to the dark side. We have cookies. I tell my friends who don't use Apple all the time, come to the dark side. We have cookies. Don't ever get into a conversation with Brian McWhorter. He works for Apple. He will try to convert you every step of the way. So I had a time in my life where I didn't use Apple. I'm really glad I switched. I just found it so much easier. And it's just so... again, yes, there's Android phones and Google phones and Pixel phones and all that have better cameras. You're absolutely right. But if they're trying to stream, it's not going to matter if they don't have good internet. And that's just always has been. Android and Google have always had one step up on a camera in the phone, but Apple's still selling for a reason. What they're able to do and easy and stuff like that, it's insane. So I know I still shoot a lot on the iPhone. I use it all the time. So I recently, a couple months ago, I have a Polar Pro case for my new one. It has an external lens I can pop on and a handle, so I can literally use it in a pinch if need be. But any other questions on tech? The tech talk turned into a Apple versus Galaxy or Samsung Android battle. It was fun. I almost wore my Apple shirt today too, which is funny. But again, come to the dark side, Willie. We have cookies. So again, guys, I will post it up. A couple months ago, I did do a whole video on the whole music licensing getting blocked. What's the best ways to go about that? Different things you can do. So, pretty much, they're going to continue to do it. Facebook is never going to give up on that, I don't think, at least in my opinion. Like I said in the last video that we did on this, I'm just hoping that YouTube and Facebook will eventually get closer to the same page. That's why I live feed all of when we do events, I live feed it all on YouTube. YouTube usually will try to pop some of the songs down afterwards when we decide to put it up. But again, it's been a long time since I've had a video blocked on YouTube. Very long time. So at least in the States, had a video blocked in France, just the music. So, and I think that same weekend as when I had the video blocked here, the one song. So, but everything's depending on the country. Some country has different laws about different things they're allowed to do, what they're allowed to broadcast. I know here in the States it can get messy. So I know I talked to some people at the beginning of the pandemic saying that BMI said they were covered, but unfortunately Facebook makes their own rules. If Facebook chose to block this later, they could, even though I don't have no music on it. All my intro music is used from a website that is Facebook and YouTube approved. Nancy, there's a question about webcam. Did you see it? Hold on, let me go back. I might have overlooked it. Thank you, Nancy. Yes, Maureen just asked, what's a good webcam? Right now, any webcam you can get a hold of. If you can actually find a webcam, good luck. I looked at some to try to get a hold of one at the beginning of the pandemic. Betty, now that I know you're preaching Apple, and I'm already converted. I'm off the bed. Thanks for this. Anytime, Betty. Honestly, Logitech makes some great ones. Usually you can get one anywhere between 75 and $100. Again, though, right now, getting your hands on one is almost next to impossible. Uh, so I use for my webcam, believe it or not, I use a GoPro, but I have it hooked up. So if you want to use any kind of camera to hook up to a computer, you're going to need something called a capture card. If you're a gamer and a streamer, you already know about capture cards. It's what takes video off of a device and be able to allows you to stream it. So I have a Blackmagic capture card that I've had for years that I'm able to plug my GoPro into and plug that into the computer, and I'm able to take the video straight from a GoPro, which I'll actually pull it up because I have it plugged in, so you'll see both cameras. In the bottom corner of the screen, I believe, is the GoPro. I'm actually going to put them. Oop. That way you can see what it looks like. Yep, there it is. So I am. So the big picture, Jesse, is a Canon. That's a Canon, as you can see, because you'll see the one that's moving in the bottom corner is a GoPro. Color's a little bit different only because it's wide. I think it's set to widescreen right now. I use it as my webcam thing, but they're both clear. It's a GoPro Hero 5. So the picture-in-picture in the bottom, guys, I'll actually point to it, see if I can get that lined up, is the GoPro. The picture you're looking, the big picture of me, most of it, that's a Canon. So yeah, I've been using a Canon for the whole show. The whole show that I did on is in a Canon. The current picture-in-picture is the GoPro. As you can see, coloring's a little different, but I could always adjust that. The picture is just as clear. I'll say it's not really much different than it is the other one. If I probably switched them out and adjusted some of the settings, there probably would be not much difference. So yeah, that's the other camera I have currently hooked up, and I use that as my webcam. But again, I already have the capture card, which a capture card probably run you anywhere between $100 and $150, and then the HDMI cables and stuff you need to hook it up depending on your type of computer to the GoPro. Also, is there anything we can do to avoid our music being muted? No. The only thing you could do is go to your own website, and then in order to do that, though, to not get in trouble, you would need a music license. So to get it muted off Facebook, there is absolutely nothing. It's 100% crapshoot. Slowing down doesn't always guarantee it either, for those who want it. If you wanted it on YouTube, again, YouTube, there's no guarantee. I've noticed that ever since I've monetized my channel, I don't get blocked. That way they can run commercials, they can run ads, stuff like that. Awesome. Thank you, Rona. Yeah, Rona says thank you so much. K2, see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning I do have my radio show on Line Dancer Radio, guys, from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern, 2 to 4 p.m. UK time, so definitely check that out. I'll be playing songs from the Big Bang this past year. So I hope everyone enjoyed the show. I hope I gave you all enough information. And again, anytime, guys, y'all have any questions, feel free to contact me. Send us a message on the page, 7 Arrow Media. Again, like and follow us on YouTube. Subscribe and click the button on YouTube. Like and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. You're definitely going to think. Anytime, Chris. I hope everyone had got a lot out of it. Sharon, we were doing a whole talk on tech today. Live streaming questions for instructors that want to live stream. Music blocking questions, stuff like that. So that was all this on. So, hope everyone enjoyed it. If guys, if you have any questions, feel free, ask away. I will do these sporadically because I know people love talking about tech, and I am a big geek at heart. I love talking about all my tech. So I will gladly give anybody information. Again, tomorrow, no Honky Tonk Highway in the afternoon for a show, but tune in to me on Line Dancer Radio, guys. I'll have the show tomorrow morning. So Wednesday, we'll have Tim Johnson back on to go over the dance he choreographed with Debbie last week. And then Thursday, I'm back with another Top 10 Thursday. This week it's Shane McKeever, and he will be joining me. So, hope everyone had fun this weekend. Hope everyone enjoyed the show today, guys. So, hope everyone has a great rest of their evening. Enjoy.